Micah Parsons was one of the top recruits in the country coming out of high school. He was a 5-star player and was viewed as one of the biggest names in the recruiting game. It looked as if he was going to be committing to Ohio State, but one photograph completely changed everything. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys the crazy story of how this future first-round draft pick ended up at Penn State as opposed to Ohio State because of a simple photograph. Before we get to today's video, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. If you love college football content, this is definitely the place for you. Parsons was named the 2017 American Family Insurance National Defensive Player of the Year at Harrisburg High School in Pennsylvania. In addition to that, he was named the Pennsylvania Football News Class 5A Defensive Player of the Year in 2017 as well. He registered 55 tackles, 10.5 sacks, and 17.5 tackles for loss on defense, while adding 1,200 rushing yards and 29 offensive touchdowns on offense as a senior. The 27 rushing scores tied for 9th in the state. He had 69 tackles with 20 tackles for loss and 13.5 sacks as a junior. So yeah, this guy was pretty good. He was tabbed a 5-star recruit by all 3 major recruiting outlets, 24/7 Sports, ESPN, and Rivals. He was ranked as the number 5 overall prospect, number 1 player in Pennsylvania, and number 2 weak side defensive end by 24/7 Sports. He was ranked as the number 7 overall recruit, number 4 defensive end, number 1 player in Pennsylvania, and number 2 prospect in the region by ESPN. And he was ranked as the number 6 overall recruit, number 1 outside linebacker, and number 1 prospect in Pennsylvania by Rivals. He was once considered a heavy favorite to land at Ohio State. It looked as if he would end up a Buckeye. That was until Ohio State agreed to stop recruiting him because of a self-reported NCAA violation that occurred during his official visit on September 9th of 2017. Ohio State self-reported the violations to the NCAA on September 26. The violations were the result of improper contact that happened during Parsons' official visit to the set of ESPN's College Game Day. As a result of the infractions, Ohio State agreed to no longer recruit Parsons and declared him ineligible for an unknown amount of time. Ultimately, Parsons decided to commit to another Big Ten program, Penn State. Micah Parsons was unnamed in the self-reported violation records due to the protection and his age, and is referred to as a 2018 prospective student athlete. But he was the one from the report because he was photographed on the College Game Day set and retweeted photos of him with former Ohio State quarterback and current College Game Day analyst Kirk Herbstreit, former Ohio State running back and College Game Day celebrity guest picker Eddie George, and College Game Day analyst Lee Corso and host Reese Davis. While on a campus tour led by football recruiting assistant Ed Terwilliger, the recruit met Herbstreit on the show's set, took a photo with 2 College Game Day analysts who are not former Ohio State players while sitting on stage, and met George off the set, according to the records. Though recruits on official visits are able to speak with former student athletes of the school they are visiting, they are not allowed to have contact with members of the media associated with former student athletes. According to the records, Terwilliger allowed the recruit and his parents to enter College Game Day's production area in front of the set, which isn't allowed to the public. The group was given credentials by a producer of the show. The action is regarded as an improper benefit by the NCAA and was self-reported by Ohio State. As a result of the violations, Terwilliger was suspended 1 game. The compliance office also prevented every athletics program from being in the vicinity of the College Game Day set for the rest of the 2017 season. While on a visit off campus, the recruit's parents requested to stop at the set of the ESPN show since they had never seen it before, according to the records. After Herbstreit recognized and greeted him, the group entered the production area and were given credentials by a producer. Then Herbstreit invited the recruit on the stage following a commercial break. The recruit posed for a photo between 2 nationally known ESPN analysts, then headed off the stage with his father to rejoin the group and his mother when the show was about to return to the air. Once off the stage, Herbstreit introduced Micah Parsons to Eddie George. Then the recruit and his parents left to continue the tour of the Oval and academic buildings. After this crazy story unfolded and went public, Micah's father, Terrence, came out and claimed that there was more to the story than met the eye. His father said that he believes Ohio State ended its recruitment of his son because of a tweet Micah sent at 11:38 p.m. after the Oklahoma game, in which he said he would consider making a quarterback change from JT Barrett to Dwayne Haskins. This was following Ohio State's loss to Oklahoma, in which Barrett didn't even have a single touchdown. The tweet immediately drew widespread criticism, with many questioning the appropriateness of a recruit, especially one who just took his official visit, calling for a personnel change. Parsons issued an apology the following day. After the visit, the next day, everything seemed strange because our itinerary said that we were supposed to meet with Urban Meyer at the end of our visit, but that never happened. So when that didn't happen, I told his mom, I said, yeah, I don't think they want our son no more. Terrence Parsons said neither he nor his wife have had contact with anyone from Ohio State since arriving back home in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on September 10th, except for a brief exchange with head coach Urban Meyer. I texted them on the 10th saying thank you and everything. Larry Johnson briefly responded. Urban Meyer didn't respond until that Friday. Then he didn't see my message and said, "Can I talk later?" I said, "Yeah, what's good?" He said noon. I hit him back around noon, there was no reply or answer, and that's it. We just want to know, if it was a violation and you realized that on the 26th, whether it hit paper or not, you could have at least let us know. Terrence Parsons said neither he nor Micah knew it would be a violation to go to the college game day set and meet the analysts, including Kirk Herbstreit. He said had they known that wasn't allowed, there's no way they would have gone up on stage with them. Terrence Parsons also questioned the accuracy of what Ohio State said in its self-reported violation. The university wrote that Micah Parsons was brought to the set of college game day by football recruiting assistant Ed Terwilliger because his parents requested that he stop the tour to take a look, since the prospect's parents had never seen college game day. Terrence called that a lie, saying that Parsons was near the game day set before an Ohio State game in 2016. The family visited for both the Nebraska and Michigan game. Game day was on site for the game against the Wolverines. He also said that once they arrived at the set, they were fine to record the show on their phones from below and did not ask to come on stage, but were invited. When the Parsons family came by the set, Ohio State wrote in its NCAA self-violation report, Terwilliger stayed at the bottom of the stairs as Herbstreit brought the prospect and the father on stage. However, photos that day showed Terwilliger wearing a red polo and khakis on stage, standing behind Micah Parsons while the recruit took his picture with former Ohio State running back Eddie George. It was just all too much of a mess, and Micah Parsons and Ohio State looked like a match that just wasn't going to happen. In December of 2017, Parsons announced his commitment to Penn State, one of Ohio State's biggest rivals. Ironically, Parsons ended up where he initially started. He originally committed to Penn State when he was only a sophomore, but decommitted to check out his other options. Parsons was great for the Nittany Lions during his freshman year. He finished with a team-high 82 tackles, the first time in Penn State history a freshman led the team in total tackles. He was selected as a freshman All-American by The Athletic, 24/7 Sports, and ESPN, and was an honorable mention All-Big Ten selection by the media. A lot of eyes were surrounding Parsons entering his sophomore year. He was named to the preseason Bronco Nagurski Trophy watch list. From the second of the first snap, he was a force to be reckoned with out there. Early in the season against Pittsburgh, he collected 9 tackles with 2 tackles coming for a loss. He also added a pass breakup and a quarterback hurry. He was selected as the coaching staff's Defensive Player of the Week. A few weeks later against Michigan, he tied a career high with 14 tackles. 8 of his 14 tackles held Michigan to 1 yard or less. Yet again, he was named to the coaching staff's Defensive Player of the Week. Parsons would go on to receive that honor 2 more times throughout the rest of the season. He reached the 100 tackle mark, the first Penn State player since Marcus Allen did it in 2016. He finished the season with 109 tackles, including 14 tackles for loss with 5 sacks. He also added 5 pass deflections and 4 forced fumbles. Micah sure racked up the awards following the season, as he was named a consensus All-American by the NCAA, tabbed Associated Press All-American First Team, claimed USA Today All-American honors, was named an All-American by ESPN, was named an AFCA All-American First Team, claimed Sports Illustrated's All-American First Team, and was Bleacher Report's All-American First Team as well. And he was named Pro Football Focus All-American First Team. Leading up to the 2020 season, many were expecting Parsons to be yet another dominant force for Penn State. But then, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. After big names started opting out of the season, Parsons followed. He posted this video to his Instagram page announcing his decision to opt out of the season and begin preparing for the 2021 NFL Draft. So, what are your thoughts on the whole recruiting violation from Ohio State? Do you think it was that big of a deal, or should it have been just fine? Or do you think it was the tweet that was the true reason they stopped recruiting him? Drop a comment down below and share with me your thoughts on the entire Micah Parsons situation. Also, do you think he's the best linebacker in this draft? What team do you think would be a great fit for him? Let me know as well. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss another video. I'll be posting a lot of videos like this, breaking down the journey of a lot of 2021 NFL Draft prospects. So if you enjoyed this video, this is definitely the place for you. Also, if there's a prospect you'd like to see a video on, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.